Welcome back to the Damon Floyd Coach Show here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. Our programs each week brought to you by Ownbey Appliances on Durkee Road, produced here at Studio H12 at Bradley Central High School. I'd like to welcome once again Coach Damon Floyd, now in his 20th year of head coach at Bradley. How many years were you assistant coach before you took over as a head?
Three years.
23 years, going on 23 years in staff. Plus you played here for a couple years too and all that, man. Boy, time gets by, doesn't it?
It does. It goes fast.
Yep. You've got gray hair, and I've got a little bit of gray hair left there. Looking back, we had a program a couple of weeks, so we had an open week there, but Saudi Days, it was a win. You know, it was not a pretty win, but it was a win nevertheless. That's what we keep the records for and keep score. And got to eliminate the turnovers, especially the turnovers, and reduce those penalties down because to have a chance at Oak Ridge, at Maryville Friday night, it's going to take a team effort, which we've gotten. A good effort, but we got to execute, as you say, always.
Yeah, you can't turn it over against anybody. And I don't know. It was 40-6 win at Saudi, so the good thing is we won, but we were more talented than them. So we got to protect the ball. It's the same thing we talk about every week. And against good teams, they'll make you pay. And Maryville's obviously a good team, so those are things that we've tried to work on and correct. And but we played 5 games before Saudi and we still had those issues, or 6 games I should say. So hopefully our guys come in a little bit more focused, maybe playing Maryville. I'm not saying they overlooked Saudi, but it sure seemed like we had some that were sleepwalking. So I did not do a good job of preparing them to play for that Friday night. So we're really trying to get ready for a really good football team in Maryville.
Well, we're going to see one there. And Saudi, like you say, I think the players were not emotionally ready. Not like they would have been if it had been someone else. But anyway, it did get the win there. We named Brady Lewis our player of the game. He was the running back with over 100 yards rushing, 16 rushes, 3 catches for 11 more yards. But we also went out of our way to salute the defense. Our defense, except for the one pick six, they don't score. It's a shutout. We had a mercy rule game again there. And a lot of it came together there, but I've still got to come back again and brag on Noah Canales. He has been very consistent, and you'll hear his interview here tonight as well, folks. He's perfect, 30 for 30 on the year. He's 2 of 3 field goals, and I told him I wasn't jinxing him. But the thing that I've noticed in his kickoffs, and me and you've talked about this, is that he's getting the height and getting it deep inside the 10 almost every kickoff there. Going to be touching that end zone pretty soon, but that height gives the cover team time to get down there and get up rather than a low quick kick. And we're holding inside the 20 almost every time on the kickoff. So that's a
and I think that's the key is his height, and that's something we've talked about. Every kicker wants to kick in the end zone, and sometimes they probably try too hard to kick it farther, and so we don't care if we'd rather it go in the end zone obviously, but if it doesn't, we just need height, which has helped our kickoff team get down there. But we got a lot of guys on kickoff team that are running really hard. TJ Jones especially, I think he's won special teams player of the week maybe 3-4 times this year because he's giving great effort and taking a lot of pride and being the first one down there making some tackles. So Noah's done really good, and actually the field goal that we got blocked, a little bit's on him, but it's not his job to line up the place. So whenever we overload the holder, we got to move the ball to the appropriate location when we do overload. Otherwise, it's short end, and we did not. We stayed behind the center, and it should have been overloaded. So he did have one blocked, but not necessarily his fault because that's not his job to recognize that. So, we're happy where Noah is. He's just sophomore, so I think as he gets a little older and a little stronger, I think he's going to have a really good career here.
Well, he attributed his increased height and distance to working out, the workouts, things they do there. Of course, he plays soccer as well, too. And kicking place kicking, it's a 3-man job. The snapper, the holder, and the kicker all have to come together, or it gets messed up. The kicker's one gets credit for it's like a quarterback interception. But anyway, he's the one that gets the charge on that. It should be a good game Friday. We're going to talk about that when we come back here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Talk about the upcoming game, a region battle on the road at Maryville, and what is a key game for both the squads. We'll be back in just a moment after this words from Ownbey Appliance. Back here with Coach Damon Floyd on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, where our shows are brought to you each week by LB Appliance. We're going to talk about Maryville, and as we say every year, let's just face it, Maryville usually has better athletes and more athletes than other teams. And Maryville is Maryville, and I think sometimes when I go there and I look down there on that field house, and there's 17 plaques up there showing representing 17 state titles, you know. That's got to make people stop and think about that a little bit. It's a lot like when I've seen girls teams come in here to play basketball and look up there and see all those Bradley Barrett's state championships, and it sort of intimidates them there. I don't think it's going to intimidate us, but I think the fact that Maryville will be a much different mental attitude approach to the game than it may have been against Saudi Daisy come Friday night. I hope it better be, I think.
But I mean, you're dealing with teenage kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's the plan, but they don't always. You know, it's funny to me as coaches, you hear people say, "Well, I would do it."
It's like
now,
the kids.
now, obviously, we try to hold them accountable for those things and coach them the right way, but that takes time. And you know, I mean, yesterday at practice, we worked all week last week on Maryville, putting in a game plan, and then yesterday in practice, we have certain people that everybody's got a job to do, and they're not doing their job, and it's like, well, why? So. You know, depends on what day it is. And the truth of the matter is we got around 90 kids on the team. Well, like I said, they're all teenage kids that, 50 of them have a good day and 40 don't. Mm-hmm. So, but, other teams deal with it too. So it's not an excuse. But, yeah, I would hope that, we've emphasized, like you're playing Maryville, who has won the state championship 17 times, very quality program. Obviously, any high school program would look at them as the echelon. Them in Oakland now. Oakland lasts 10 years or so. So it's a great challenge, great opportunity. These are the games I like to coach in. Hopefully these are the games our players like to play in. So it should be a fun, exciting game. It's going to be very difficult. There's no doubt. And hopefully we can keep it close and have a chance in the fourth quarter.
Well, as a radio guy, it's a fun game to broadcast too there, As look at the year-to-date stats, Maryville is averaging right at 40 points a game, giving up less than 10. We're averaging right at 30 points a game. We're giving up less than 10. Do you see it as a defensive battle? Because our defense is as stout as can be. Do you think it'll be a low-scoring kind of game, or do you want a low-scoring kind of game?
Oh, we definitely want a low-scoring game. If it's a high-scoring game, we're not able to score with them.
Yeah.
You talk about how many points they've scored. Well, how many games have they played 4 quarters?
Very
Alcoa
few.
is the only one.
Very few.
That's the only game that their offense has played for 4 quarters.
Wow.
So, they're just very efficient. They're very well coached. I think the thing that people don't know, I mean, everybody talks about how disciplined they are, and but the fact of the matter is they have really good players. I mean, every year they have really good players. A lot of players go to Maryville to play football. That's the way it is these days, So obviously they're coached very well. They're disciplined. I think if you look at their ACT score as a school, it's very high. So they have very intelligent kids. They trust their coaches. You can tell when it's offense, defense, special teams, and the play comes in, or the defense front coverage comes in, blitz, whatever it may be, those players trust that it's going to work.
Yeah.
They also have a lot of competition, and if we're being honest, sometimes we may have a guy, A.J. Westfield, for example. We don't have another A.J. Westfield on the field. So really, there's nobody really pushing A.J.
Yeah.
Where at Maryville, you have a lot of guys like, hey, if you can't do it, the guy behind you is probably just as good. So they have a lot of depth, a lot of respect for their program, but they do a lot of things really well for a lot of different reasons. So we'll have our hands full.
Well, yeah, we always do with him there. Looking back at the Oak Ridge game, just I want to do a comparison here. Oak Ridge will play Maryville the Thursday night when we play Beard in our final game of the year there. We held Oak Ridge to 10 points, and no other team has held them to less than 3 touchdowns in any game they played this year. We held them to 10 points. I lost that 10-7 there. And I'm not even going to ask you to compare Maryville and Oak Ridge, but the Maryville team, just a typical Maryville team, strong at everything. They've only punted 9 times in 8 games, and they're efficient, 31-31 in the red zone. That tells you their offense is extremely efficient and doing the thing that they need to do. How do you attack someone like that? Are they physically large? I mean, sometimes we say some huge, really heavyweight guys. Are they that typical team this year? Are they our size or?
Oh no, they're big.
They're
I
big.
mean, their left tackle just committed to NC State, who's 6'7", 300 pounds. And you look across the board now. The rest of them may not be 6'7", 300, but they're 6'4", 280, 290. So, no offense to our kids, but we have some guards that are 5'10", and if we're lucky, we're 5'10" and 250, 260. So, And, size matters. Like Nick Saban said, bigger people usually whip smaller people. So
Yeah.
once again, there's a reason. Is their scheme really good? Yes, but I'll say this for example. Wally Suskowicz, we know, great player. What's his stature? He's 5'9", 190, solid, strong, fast. All 4 of their linebackers, 6'1" and above, 215 and above, that run really well. So, I mean, like I said, they have really players, and it will be a fight. That doesn't mean we're going to lose the game. We're going to go out there and give it everything we got.
Yeah.
So we have a game plan. Do we plan different than Maryville? You have to, because of what they do. Schematically, offensively, they are very multiple, and it's you got to line up correctly, or they will make a big play on you. So we've got to tackle extremely well. We've got to communicate. Some of the other teams we play, you don't see those type of formations and shifts and motions to try to get you in a bad situation. And with Maryville, they do that, and they do it really. It's definitely a big challenge. But once again, when we're sitting in the meeting room and we're putting a plan together as coaching staff, to me, this is fun. Mm-hmm. You got a chance to put a plan together, install it with your kids, and see how they go out and execute it. So I'm excited about the game.
Well, execution is always the bottom line. You can draw up the greatest game plan in the world, but the execution is the key to making it happen and not have any turnovers or anything like that, and eliminate the penalties, as we always say. But it's going to be a fun game. Again, it's a Friday night game. Then we'll finish out on a Thursday night on the 30th with Bearden on the road again. So we're through at home right now. So we wish you the best of luck and the kids, and play hard. Don't get anybody hurt. See what we can do. And I know we're going there fighting for everything we can get. So,
yeah, we're going to go in there and give it everything we got. There's no doubt about that. We're not scared to go there. I'll guarantee you that. We're going to go and give it everything we got.
And they'll know they've been in the battle. Coach Derek Hunt, I think he's in his 9th year now, and he's won a couple of state titles. He won, I think, his first year out. He won when George Quarles, who won most of those 17 state titles. And he was honored last week at Maryville. They had a big shindig for him there and honored him. He should have been honored. Mm-hmm. He's off into college coaching right now, but this will be a great battle with Maryville. One of those that you certainly look forward to. It always means a lot. It's never not meant a lot, And it's been a while since we won at Maryville. Matter of fact, I know you've not been that successful at Maryville yet as a head coach.
Well, not just me, Gary. Hardly anybody. So.
Going back to 1934. I looked it up. 1934 is the last time we beat them. We didn't play them for a slew of years, but I'm not putting the monkey on your back. But we have not beaten them. They've won the last 10 games in a row up there at Maryville. So let's stop that and get our win there Friday night. We'll sign off for now. Coach, again, I always thank you there, and thanks for Mr. Short and his folks back here for making our shows happen as always. Until next time, we'll say so long for now. God bless, and go Bears.